Hey care group leaders, we're going to continue on in the book of Acts, looking at Acts chapter 20 verses 17 through 38, and we're going to look at Paul's final words to the Ephesian elders. Memorial Day this summer, I took my girls to a graveyard. We were looking at different tombstones, and it was interesting to look at what was ascribed on the tombstones, the epitaph, the summary of an entire life. And essentially what we have here is Paul's epitaph. This is his summary of his life and the most important things that he wants this church to remember. And so as you guys go into this discussion, the question, I have a couple of sort of explore questions for you to think about. The first would be, if you had to take your whole life up to the point that you're at right now, and you had to try and summarize it in 6 words, how would you do it? What would those words be? Then, if you had to assume life goes the way we want it to, and you had to summarize your whole life, what you want on your tombstone, what would you want it to say? It's that time, as Pastor Michael would say, it's the dash that counts. It's the time between the times, how we live our life that matters. And if we know what we want to be remembered for, then what we do now matters. We got to connect where we're going with where we're at. And so that's really the lesson behind this Sunday and walking through Paul's final words to the Ephesian elders. So you'll see that in the explore aspect, we have different questions on the text itself. But then in the application aspect, really what we're trying to do is connect in your mind, if I want to be remembered for these things, if I want my life to count in these ways, what am I doing now to make that happen? So how am I living my life in such a way that what I will be remembered for is what I want to be remembered for? And Paul uses some of this terminology. He says, pay attention, be very careful, watch yourself, your life, your doctrine, what you believe, how you impact others. And so have a conversation. What does it look like for us to model our lives, to leave a legacy? And what does it look like for us to recognize that even right now, even today matters? What does it look like for us to recognize that even today, what we do is framing up our legacy for our children and our children's children and all those who will be impacted by our life? And so I want you guys to think about those things, pray about those things. Our hope, our prayer is that God would be using this church, not just in this time, but in the future, that we would have an epitaph that is worth following, that we would be a people that leave a legacy, a godly legacy for our children's children's children to 1,000 generations until the Lord returns. And so that's something we want you guys thinking about, praying about, and come this Sunday with hearts ready to receive the word and to rejoice in all that God is for us in Jesus. So as always, we love you guys. We'll see you on Sunday.